Roundtable on KTRS.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States.
Our next guest was just a few yards away from Donald Trump when he said that last night. Aaron Katersky in Cleveland, Ohio. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. It was one of the longest acceptance speeches in modern convention history, and it was unconventional and unmistakably Donald Trump. He mentioned gays more than he mentioned God. That's also unheard of in modern Republican convention history. And he made a full-throated pitch for himself as the unique savior of a country that he believes is deeply broken.
Aaron, watching it at home, many people were complaining that he was screaming. Was he screaming, and was that the sense you got while watching it live inside the room?
For a good 75 minutes, you were, getting screamed at. But that's the unique staccato of Donald Trump. It was a forceful speech. At times, he did appear to be lecturing and loud, and it was a little bit different from his rallies because he was using a teleprompter. He veered every now and again for a quick off-the-cuff remark, but for the most part, he was using the same fire and brimstone and volume as his campaign, but tried to offer at least some clues as to what he would hope to accomplish in his first days in office. He said, "We need change right now."
Seems like the people inside the convention hall loved every second of it.
Oh, I think they did. And by design, that's a moment to rally around the candidate who is accepting the party's nomination. But look what they were rallying around. A Republican audience applauding for upholding gay rights, and that's something that Donald Trump said he appreciated. They were applauding for his desire to rearrange NATO for Americanism, not globalism. They were applauding for a unique brand of Trumpian things, but the signature policies like the wall, banning Muslims, if not specifically said, it was certainly implied. Those things carried over from the campaign.
Much has been made over the fact that Democrats obviously were upset with the speech, obviously, but many Republicans sort of outside of the room on Twitter and other places sort of voiced their frustration to the speech. Was there anybody you found inside the room that was a little put off by that speech because of some of the other things he said that were not a normal Republican speech?
Yeah, no one in the hall, and it's hard to get a good read from inside the hall because of the natural euphoria,
Sure.
And it's almost infectious when a crowd picks up a chant like "Lock her up" or USA or whatever. Interestingly, when they did pick up the "Lock her up" chant, Donald Trump kind of waved them off,
Yeah,
and said, "Let's defeat her in November." He was very disciplined in his speech last night.
the balloons were late. Was that planned?
Oh, there was some confetti first. So you had confetti, then the balloons. I'm not sure it was planned or whether they were just a little late pulling the string, but you had 120,000 balloons showering down on Donald Trump and his family and Mike Pence and his family as they stood at center stage and soaked in the cheers of the crowd.
Did anybody make the point after his speech in which he's going to make America great again and a litany of all the things he's going to do? They then broke out into the song, "You Can't Always Get What You Want"?
Wasn't that fantastic? And you wondered if that was almost a taunt from Donald Trump to Republicans who are still unsure or still not on board with his candidacy, because the message the whole week, never mind Donald Trump, was no Hillary Clinton. So maybe you don't like me, maybe you don't like what I'm talking about here, but the alternative is her.
Yeah, that was an interesting take. Ted Cruz, how much of him helped unify that crowd last night?
Well, there was certainly those in the crowd who were angry and felt antagonized by Ted Cruz's smug snub of Donald Trump. There were those in the room that, quite frankly, said, "Good for you," and he explained himself to the Texas delegation by telling them that, look, I'm not endorsing somebody who insulted me and my wife and attacked my dad, and some saw him standing up for principles. Others saw an unforgivable insubordination. Ted Cruz, though, I think understood how Trump operates and managed to, at least for a second maybe, get him at his own game. Of course, as Ted Cruz was showered in booze, Donald Trump just kind of sauntered into the room unbothered. But it's certainly going to be a memorable moment from this convention.
Aaron Katursky, rest up. You're headed to Philadelphia for the Democrats. We'll check in with you Monday morning at 6:50 to talk about the Democrats. Aaron, thanks for checking in all week.
All right, we'll see you in Philly, McGraw. Thanks.
You got it. 6:56. Big